Welcome to another episode of Chess Thoughts, where we dive deep into the questions that shape our understanding of life and society. Today, we're exploring a fascinating thought experiment. What if everyone became rich overnight? What would that do to our world? And more importantly, what would it reveal about human nature? Let's unravel the paradox of wealth. Let's start with a simple truth. Wealth, like most things, only has value when it's scarce. Money is a tool, not just for survival, but for creating systems of trade, effort, and reward. If suddenly everyone has it, does it lose its power to motivate or even function? Imagine a world where luxury isn't rare, where the car of your dreams or the mansion by the sea is attainable by everyone. What happens then? Inflation spirals out of control. Essentials like food and housing become unaffordable because demand skyrockets. And here's the paradox. What we once called wealth transforms into a mirage. Its meaning collapses, leaving us to question, was it ever about the money? Or was it the meaning we attached to it? We like to believe that wealth buys freedom, but does it? When everyone is wealthy, many might abandon their jobs. But what happens to the farmer growing food, the doctor in the ER, or the teacher in the classroom? Society runs on interconnected roles. If wealth makes us too free to do what we need to for others, does it destroy the very fabric of community? Could this sudden abundance leave us lonelier, more detached, and, paradoxically, dependent on the labor of the few who still feel bound to serve? Perhaps this raises a deeper question. Is true freedom ever possible in a world where we rely so heavily on each other? Let's shift focus to society. If everyone becomes rich, does that mean equality? Or does it simply breed a new hierarchy? Wealth might no longer divide us, but something else will power, influence, or control over limited resources. History teaches us that humans are ingenious at finding ways to create social divides, whether it's through status, intellect, or possessions. Would we simply shift the battleground from who has money to who spends it best? And then there's the darker side, crime. Wealth attracts envy, jealousy, and greed. Could we end up in a world more dangerous, not less because the stakes are suddenly higher? Now, let's step into the personal realm. Imagine waking up tomorrow with unimaginable wealth. At first, it sounds like freedom, but then, what do you do? If survival is no longer your struggle, what's your purpose? Studies show that sudden wealth can bring an identity crisis. When you no longer need to work, you may struggle to find meaning. And if you lose the drive to create, connect, or contribute, does life itself lose its luster? This isn't just about money. It's about fulfillment. Maybe the pursuit of wealth was never the point. Maybe it's the pursuit of purpose that truly matters. But let's not spiral into despair. A sudden influx of wealth could also ignite innovation. Freed from financial constraints, people might pursue art, science, and social change. Imagine the breakthroughs that could emerge if people were no longer shackled by survival. Yet, this would require a shift in mindset, from consuming wealth to creating value. What would happen if we redefine success? Not by what we have, but by what we give. It's a question of evolution. Can humanity grow beyond wealth as a measure of worth and focus on collective well-being? In the end, this thought experiment isn't about money. It's about meaning. Wealth, power, and freedom. These are tools, not destinations. So, the real question is, if the pursuit of wealth disappeared, what would we pursue instead? Would we find happiness in relationships? Would we seek purpose in creativity? Would we finally turn our attention to the greater good? Or perhaps, would we discover that the journey, the striving, the dreaming, is what makes us human? Thank you for joining me on this philosophical exploration. If today's episode left you with more questions than answers, then we've done our job. Share your thoughts with us on social media, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, and reminding you that sometimes the questions are more important than the answers.